Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Grayson Chrisley cries tears of joy as parents are pardoned. Grayson Chrisley cried tears of joy upon learning that his parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, had been pardoned. He was with his sister, Savannah Chrisley, when President Trump called with the news, and it was clear he was in shock. So what were his exact words? Keep reading for more details. Grayson Chrisley cries tears of joy. When Todd and Julie Chrisley were sentenced to a collective 19 years in jail, it deeply affected their children. Their daughter, Savannah Chrisley, became the guardian of their two youngest kids, Chloe and Grayson Chrisley. That was a daunting task, especially since she was young and still working on her career. However, she stepped up, and Grayson graduated from high school without his parents. Chloe and Grayson have praised Savannah and how much she did for them. They loved and appreciated her as if she were their own mom. Savannah even got Grayson off to college and made sure that his dorm was perfect. Now, Todd and Julie Chrisley have been pardoned by President Trump. This means they can come home any day, and Grayson was there when the call came in. He can be heard sobbing as President Trump shares that their parents will be home within a day, and he will do all he can to get them out ASAP. Grayson hopped on the phone, and through tears, he thanked the president for freeing his parents. It was clear that he was overwhelmed, but grateful at the same time. Savannah has worked to no end over the last 2 years to bring awareness to prison problems and free her parents. She has felt that they suffered behind bars and needed to come home. More so, she and Grayson Chrisley just spent time at a presidential event, and it was evident what their goal was. He posed alongside his brother, Chase Chrisley, wearing presidential slogan hats. They wanted to show their support for him, as their end goal was Todd and Julie's freedom. After hearing Grayson Chrisley tear up and speak to the president, fans became very emotional. He shared where he went to college, and they had a brief back and forth. Now they are waiting for word that they can go get their parents, which Savannah Chrisley is prepping for. She wants to ensure they have all they need to make the transition smooth. Regardless, the love and support are flowing. The moment the phone call came through, Grayson Chrisley felt his knees tremble beneath him. His world seemed to pause in a dramatic silence, the kind you only find in a dream or a life-changing moment. The 18-year-old son of Todd and Julie Chrisley pressed the phone to his ear with shaky hands, trying to stay composed and strong for his family. But when the voice on the other side said it, when the words "your parents have been pardoned" fell into his soul, Grayson's resolve fell away, and tears flowed freely down his face. "It's true. It's really true," Grayson whispered under his breath. His disbelief quickly turned into pure, overwhelming happiness. His knees gave in, and he fell to the floor in his bedroom, letting the tears come, not tears of sadness, but tears of pure, unfiltered happiness. The kind you cry when a nightmare is suddenly over, when the heavens seem to lift a heavy weight off your back. For nearly 2 years, Grayson had lived under a shadow, a nightmare that seemed to follow him wherever he went. His parents, well-known reality TV personalities, were convicted on fraud charges and sentenced to federal prison. The scandal made headlines across the country and turned the Chrisley family's glamorous lifestyle into a dramatic tragedy. For Grayson, it meant growing up faster than most kids his age. He dealt with judgment from the media, rumors from people who hadn't walked a mile in his shoes, and an avalanche of doubts about the future. There were nights when fear gnawed at him, fear that the family might be divided forever, fear that the people who raised him might miss years of his life, his marriage, the birth of his children, the milestones that a family should celebrate together. But now, in a dramatic twist of fate, a pardon had come through. The president himself had reviewed their case, weighed all the facts, and decided that the punishment no longer fit the offense. The Chrisleys were free, and the family was whole once more. As Grayson pressed the phone against his forehead and closed his eyes, a rush of memories filled him. His first day of school, his first soccer match, his first time riding a bike without training wheels. All moments made rich by having his parents there cheering him on. The thought of having them back for future milestones made his tears flow faster. His graduation, his future marriage, the birth of his children. Now his parents would be there to celebrate. Grayson called for his older sister, Savannah. "Sav, it's true. It's really true. They're pardoned. Mom and Dad are coming home." Savannah rushed into the room, disbelief battling pure happiness on her face. The two fell into each other's arms, crying tears of pure release and renewal. The bond between the Chrisley children, forged through years of trial and unfair judgment, seemed to grow even stronger in that moment. Whatever came next, whatever the future held, the two were united in their love and loyalty to their family. Word of the pardon soon filled their home. The phone kept ringing, messages flowed in from friends, fans, and well-wishers. The media rushed to report the story. Chrisley's pardoned after years in prison, and nearly all headlines captured the raw human feeling at the center of it. A family made whole again. As the hours passed, Grayson remained in a state of awe and disbelief. His phone seemed to weigh 1,000 pounds in his hands, not from physical pressure, but from the significance of the messages pouring in. His social media, normally a curated view into his day-to-day life, now seemed to reflect something much more profound. A communal sigh of happiness from a family reunited. He decided to go live on Instagram briefly, not to boast or celebrate, but simply to say thank you. His hands trembled as he pressed Start Live, and people from all over the world hopped into the stream. "Hey everyone, honestly, I'm at a loss for words today." His voice faltered and a few tears fell, glimmering on his cheeks. "I just want to say thank you for believing in us, for praying for us, for loving us. Today, a nightmare ended. My parents are coming home, and we're going to be a family again." The comments flowed in faster than his eyes could track, messages of happiness, encouragement, and pure love. As the days fell into a rhythm of renewal and preparation, Grayson kept thinking back to the moment it all turned. His tears of pure happiness were a symbol of something much more: the power of hope, the ability to conquer seemingly impossible odds, and the deep, unconditional love that knits a family together. He started making plans. Plans to be there when the prison gates opened, plans for the first dinner together at home, plans to celebrate the future that had seemed so distant just days before. His dad, the charming and outspoken Todd Chrisley, would surely have a dramatic entrance, a joke to lighten the mood, a loving embrace for each of his children. His mom, Julie Chrisley, the quiet warrior who kept the family anchored through the storm, would probably gather everyone in a group hug, letting silence and love say more than words ever could. For Grayson, this moment was more than a legal ruling. It was a renewal of faith in justice, in unity, in the power of a family's love to conquer all obstacles. His tears fell not just from happiness, but from a deep, soul-stirring recognition that this was a turning point, a new chapter for all of them. As the first rays of a new day fell across their home, Grayson stood by the window, gazing into the future with hope and peace in his heart. Whatever came next, the worst was over. His family was together again, bound by something more enduring than fame, controversy, or tragedy, bound by love. The pardon was not just a legal act, it was a rebirth for the Chrisley family, a chance to write their future together without the chains of the past. Grayson cried tears of pure happiness because for the first time in years, the future seemed full of hope.